up, chat? No screaming today. Only groaning and moaning. Is it hot as balls over there too? No. I don't know what's going on with whatever heat dome shit, but my area is like super cool for some reason. This is just it's the way it's gonna be under global warming going forward, is that like weather is gonna be a lot more erratic. Like some places will be under like super hot weather, and then when that chunk of air moves by to a different area, then it's gonna be like super cool and stuff like that, which is probably bad for everybody. Anti-masturbation law soon, weekly penis inspections. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of blowback on this stuff. I feel like this is whatever government, whatever they're doing is overstepping their hand and they don't really realize it. Kind of like liberals under the first Trump administration and the Biden administration not realizing what they're doing is too unpopular and shit. Meanwhile, everybody should just buy the VPN. I'm shocked that nobody has proposed the pretty obvious conspiracy theory that someone should have proposed, that it's actually NordVPN who's controlling the governments of the world to make massive amounts of money. NordVPN lobbies to get all the websites require ID to protect the children, and then everyone will be forced to buy VPN just so they can masturbate. Hashtag this stream is sponsored by NordVPN and Raid Shadow Legends. I did say it was lobbied by VPN in another stream. Okay. I just feel like it's such low-hanging fruit that you would think that more people would be making that joke. I heard Visa is getting flooded with calls about people who can't play their horny Steam games. I know this is kind of like neither here nor there, but I always thought it was weird how people expected to have eroge on Steam. Steam users are like so weirdly obsessive. Like they truly expect like everything to be on their Steam marketplace. Like they don't understand that they're essentially console gamers in the way that they're like hyper reliant on this specific launcher, and they're not even willing to try out different launchers and shit like that. I mean, I would say they should just download the eroge directly from DL site, but of course DL site got fucked by the payment processors before they went after Steam, so it's kind of irrelevant for this topic. In the UK announcement, they name drop VPNs, but you wouldn't protect the children if you did use VPNs. Yes. You know what? UK government, if I ever go to your country, I'm gonna find a little lad playing with his ball on the street and then just beat the shit out of him. Just out of principle. I'm just gonna bully his little ass. And when he asks me, "Mister, why are you doing this to me?" I'm gonna be like, "This is what you get, little Timmy. You fuck with my Steam porn games. Now, instead of protecting you by not using a VPN when I browse the internet, I will do the opposite. I will harm you actively to fight the 1984 government that you helped install. You like that now, Timmy? This is all your fault. I'm sure his parents will understand when they find me bullying him. There aren't support nets for us like there are for self-contained Japanese. Yeah, the Japanese can buy their porn games just fine. They go to one of the 8 Gorillion convenience stores and just like use their cash to buy pay money or whatever. They have like 8 different Japanese only payment processors, including the JCB credit card and stuff like that, which is not issued outside of Japan, of course. So, as usual, base Japan, living in their island country Galapagos setup. Payment processors can fuck with Westerners trying to buy Japanese games, but they can't really fuck with Japanese people trying to buy Japanese games because Japanese still use cash. How about that? There are so many places in Japan where if you just walk in with a credit card, they're like, we don't have credit card processing, you have to use cash. So they have the right idea. Nintendo Direct thoughts. I don't own a Nintendo console. I won't own a Nintendo console. I don't give a fuck about Nintendo Direct. You'll have to explain to me what sort of amazing shit happened in your stupid little Nintendo commercial for me to give a fuck about it. The only Nintendo news I care about is when Nintendo does yet another stupid dystopian thing and all the Nintendo drones are like, oh guys, actually it's okay that I have to insert this banana themed dildo up my ass if I want to play Donkey Kong. It's totally Nintendo's right to fuck me up the ass. There's nothing wrong with this. It was boring. Square Enix HD 2D slop. See, I'm a pre-Super Nintendo Square Enix guy. I'm a PlayStation 1 Square Enix guy. So the Square Enix 2D, 3D Octopath Traveler stuff, it just doesn't hit my itch. I bet if my mother had allowed me to own a Super Nintendo and play Final Fantasy before then, I would be interested in that stuff, but she didn't, so it just doesn't activate the nostalgia neurons like it's supposed to. I especially don't like how the pixels of the main character of your party are one size, and then the enemies are like 10 times the size of it. Especially for like people-sized enemies, like you'll be fighting a bandit, and your characters will be like 3 heads tall, and then the bandit will be like 500 heads tall, towering above your characters in Octopath Traveler. I'm like, come on, man, this looks dumb. I want them to be proportional. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it pisses me off. It's okay if it's like a dragon or something, but I don't know. I don't like it. The Direct had a new Katamari game that is going to be multi-platform. Not even now that the Nintendo Switch 2 is out, literally nothing is going to be only on one console going forward. Because like the Switch 2 is exactly the same specs as like some shitty third world PC probably. So basically, it's going to make no difference between owning a Switch, a gaming PC, a PlayStation, or that other company which I forgot existed. There was some other company there, but yeah, I don't think they're relevant anymore. Octopath Traveler was fine gameplay-wise, but was sorely lacking in character interaction. The characters always only had 3 lines for each other's storylines. That's sort of what I like about Tales games, is that they have all those little skits. I always enjoyed that about Tales games. Unfortunately, every single character in Tales games, despite the interaction, never stops being as shallow as a puddle, so eventually I got tired of it. But I wish more games did that. Aubrey is suffering on every page. We all have to suffer. It's how we go forward. It's the only way forward. Cool background here. You mean this one? I was working on this for a super long time. Bratty Elf needs correction. I haven't really thought about this, but I'm pretty sure that Xana is the kind of elf that will let you use her asshole. She's got that asshole prepped and ready. That's how drow elves roll. However, it will never ever get used. Will is like, even after we're married, he'll be like, that hole was never meant for sexual purposes. We must remain proper. Am I the only person who gets annoyed when there's those artists who really, really like anal and then they only use the asshole? And every once in a while they'll be like forced from a commissioner or something to draw vaginal sex, but then immediately go back to anal sex. I just want to tell those artists that, like, you were born out of a vagina. You need to stop being so hyperfixated on the asshole. Wouldn't anal sex technically be fair game for a Paladin Oath? Will's Paladin Oath is about law and order, and there's nothing lawful and orderly about using the wrong hole. Are you expecting that the apple tree suddenly gives pears or something? I'm just waiting for them to have like a eureka moment in which they realize that the asshole is not the right hole. But obviously that's expecting too much from these people. Suffer not the elf to live. Aw heck, that was a first time chat, LMAO. What is it about Twitch being like, let me expose all the newbies in the weird chat channel? How is that helpful to anyone? You're wrong. The asshole is the universal hole? No, it is not. As someone who suffers from hemorrhoids, I can say without a doubt that my asshole is not meant for any kind of sexual intercourse. It's barely meant for pooping at this point, considering it has like these weird stomach lining that keeps on getting pulled out of it and then squirts blood everywhere and gives me iron deficiencies and stuff, so... In fiction it can be. Only the most intense forms of fiction are willing to see the asshole for what it is. I'm talking about you, the guy who did like Bible Black and Starless and stuff like that, and frequently features situations in which the main character is forced to eat women's shit and stuff like that. But besides that guy, most edoge, the anal is just like a normal hole. You don't have to worry about lots of poop coming out of it. However, that is exactly what happens. Just in case you guys didn't know, the asshole, it often has poop inside it. In fact, I would say that the asshole has poop inside it more often than it doesn't have poop inside it. I know this will freak people out, but you should never forget that. I think it's to increase engagement. A streamer answering to a new guy will keep that one around more likely. True. The first time chatter set up was for streamers who weren't going to bully the new person in chat. Pretty sure enough anal sex can cause incontinence or at least diarrhea. Doesn't it fuck with your sphincter muscles? Because your sphincter muscles are they have to clench, and when you stick the penis in for too long, it messes stuff up, is what I've been told. Just train your sphincter in the gym. Gotchi hyper. I think you can train it, but do I just want this to be a gray? I might not do this. Let's give Aubrey her hair color first. Did I miss BB moaning? No. Today is a no moaning day. I don't see too many asshole monsters, but I see plenty of vagina-inspired horrors. I think if you go to children's media, especially Japanese children's media, everybody who's touched Japanese children's media knows that Japanese kids fucking love poop more than anything on the fucking planet, and every joke is about poop. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of poop and asshole inspired monsters in Japanese children's media. It's only when you get to become an adult when you see that the true horror is vagina inspired monsters. The kids are too young for that. They still think that poop is the scariest thing when it's actually the vagina. I mean, we've all seen one of these things, right? This is like standard Japanese children's cartoon character right here. Akira Toriyama thought that shit was comedy gold, no pun intended. Haha, it's so funny. Look guys, it's a piece of poop and it's so curly. God, so fucking funny. I love E. coli. The joy of being an Olympian triathlon athlete and getting to swim in whatever river that is set up for like that certain metropolitan area, and of course every single metropolitan area's river is going to be full of E. coli. When will they ever learn about that? I keep on thinking about that. It's like, if you're a triathlon and you want to be an Olympian, like 95% of the time that means you have to swim in like a river that's full of sewage, you know? Like that's never not gonna be the case. Even when it's like in the ocean and stuff, it's usually like right next to some sort of industrial shit factory and stuff like that. Even Japan, one of the cleanest countries on the planet, when they did the Tokyo Olympics, they still had like relatively high bacteria levels. It wasn't even close to being as high as Paris, but I have an idea for your next series once my Dark Elf Stepsister concludes. That time I became a semi-professional web mangaka in my late 30s. I better fucking hurry because I'm gonna be 39 in a few months. It's gonna be 40 soon if I don't hurry the fuck up. I thought you were already 39 and hitting 40. In my mind, I've been hitting 40 for the last like 4 years, so I sort of overstate my age. In my mind, like being 37 is the same as being 40, so I'm basically saying I've been 40 for a while now, but I'm not actually 40. Do you know that fucking Shimabukuro, the Toriko author, is only 50 right now? I couldn't fucking believe it, considering Toriko was like 40 volumes, and he had a series before that, and he had to take time off in between because he was caught successfully buying sex from high school girls, and they had to cancel his series and stuff like that, and he's still just hitting 50. He's only like 10 years older than me. What even is your birthday? I don't celebrate birthdays, so I don't tell anyone my birthday. I also don't celebrate my parents' birthday, and I don't let them celebrate mine. I think it's fucking stupid. Adults don't need to celebrate birthdays. That shit is for children up to the age of 18 or 20 or some shit. Once you're above 20, you don't get to celebrate your birthday anymore. PB, mom should put the house in a trust so PB doesn't have to pay inheritance on it. I have no fucking idea what my mother is doing with this stuff. I also am an only child, so I don't know what's gonna happen on my father's side of shit. He has a lot of relatively valuable property that I might or might not inherit because I don't know what he did with the will because he remarried. So the house might go to his new wife's side of shit, but I'm not going to complain about anything because I've already received insane amounts of support from my parents, considering they're not asking me to pay rent even after I'm, you know, close to hitting 40 and stuff like that. So I don't really need anything more from them. I've been able to build up my own money thanks to them not asking me to pay rent. I will never open a Ram Ranch. Constrictor, can you stop posting gay memes for like 5 seconds? Literally every single thing that you've posted so far has been a porn meme in this stream. Besides telling me I should do an autobiographical work. All you're talking about is eating poop and like unbirth and stuff. Unbirth is the fetish where you're like rebirthed into a woman's vagina, right? I haven't been following up on the most latest, hottest fetishes, but I believe that's what it was. You are probably the least miserable basement dweller I have ever heard of. That's because I have goals and skills, and I maintain a decent relative distance to my parents without annoying them too much. I mean, I could move out and I could live the normie life. I just choose not to. I'm also not morbidly obese, and I'm not that bad looking. And if I was willing to pretend that I was a normal human being and get an apartment and find a girl, I don't think it would be impossible, except I would be extremely unhappy because I would have to be around another human being. I would fucking hate it, and I know that, so I just stopped pretending to be something I wasn't, which makes life easier. Think about all the people who go through life pretending that they don't want to suck cock every day. You know, those guys are probably pretty miserable. But I don't have such delusions. I can say deep down that if I want to suck cock, that's what I want to do, you know? This is just an example. I don't actually want to suck cock. Unless it's like a very attractive cock, you know? What about a pet? I kind of... You know how there's like these studies that show that people just inherently get some sort of endorphin, dopamine release by touching furry animals? I think my autism prevents me from getting that dopamine release, so I don't really enjoy the texture of soft furry animals. I noticed that. Like, it doesn't... I don't think it feels good. I have this problem, like, this tactile issue with other things. Like, people like the feeling of stuff like fleece and shit. And I fucking hate fleece. I like coarse fabrics and stuff. So I think that's part of the reason why I'm no longer interested in getting a pet. So, if I was gonna get a pet, I'd probably get, like, a snake or something. Snakes are smooth. I like the feeling of snakes. But, you can't delude yourself into thinking that the snake somehow gives a fuck about you, so it kind of feels stupid. Also, pets are extremely expensive, so... If I'm still subsisting on my limited Patreon income, I feel like I don't really deserve to have a pet. Reptiles and bugs are ultra autism creatures. I think I'd rather just be alone. I also don't want to do the thing in which, as your pet gets older, you have to start making the financial decisions about whether you're going to spend thousands of dollars to give them surgery and extend their life for a few years or maybe even like a few months, or you're going to have to make the decision of letting them die and stuff like that, and you have to think about how they're going to die anyways and stuff like that. I guess that's what pet insurance is for, but I don't know. I feel like I only want to take care of myself because I don't want to make those kinds of decisions. I don't want to take care of something, but especially not something I know will die before me. Also, if it doesn't die before you, that's a problem as well. Ask all the people who get parrots and turtles as pets, where like the age of lifespan of parrots can be like 100 years depending on the type of parrot. Then you have to have children just so they can inherit your parrot. Just befriend the local crow population. I do like crows. I'm a big crow fan. If I'm in Japan, I spend a lot of time just watching the crows and seeing the cool shit they do. My mother is hyper biased toward cats, so whenever I say I like crows, she's like, crows are bad because they peck out the eyeballs of cats. And I'm like, A, crows don't do that. They might do it every once in a while, but B, are you ignoring the part where you owned a cat that would murder a small animal or sometimes a large animal every single day for like 6 years and would constantly drag rabbit carcasses back to the house? Are you saying that's that's acceptable, but then like when crows attack cats, that's not acceptable. Like, what is this shit? And she's just like, no, it's different. You know, I don't know. That's another reason why I'm not interested in owning a pet. I don't really like the human egotism around animals and how we anthropomorphize our relations with animals and decide weird moral ideas about what's okay and what isn't okay. When animals can live, when animals can die, when animals are allowed to kill other animals, when they're not. It's one thing debating that shit in a vacuum, but when you have to make decisions about that, like in the real life, that's an extra thing I have to think about during the day, and I don't really want to have to deal with it. Kind of weird how castrating cats and dogs is called fixing and deemed to be a good thing for them. It is a good thing for them because it's a good thing for humans. Because if we don't do that, then humans have to commit mass dog genocide. Just look at places where they let the dogs breed on their own, and then suddenly they have like giant packs of roaming dogs, like they're a fucking pack of wolves that can like kill children and stuff like that. It can basically lead to the collapse of human society if you let dogs breed on their own. So then eventually you have to go and just like murder all the dogs, the stray dogs in the area and stuff like that. So like if you read classic cartoons like Marmaduke and shit like that, there's a quote-unquote dog catcher. There's the local dog catcher who is the enemy of dogs, and it's like a funny thing in the cartoon, but you know what happens to the dogs when they're fucking caught? Oh, they just go out to the happy farm where they find a new owner and they all live happily ever after, right? No, it's fucking dog genocide, okay? So you have to eventually start killing them off if you don't, you know, fix them, so we shouldn't pretend any otherwise. What's the site you use for generating porn? You'll have to find it yourself. It's very easy to find, trust me. I don't have very good technical skills, so if you just keep on clicking, looking for free AI generation, there's only like one or two that will let you do shit for free that also won't ask you for your email and stuff like that. You'll get to it very quickly. One female cat can give birth to like 20 or 30 children in their lifetime, just one. One human female can do the same if they're being impregnated by goblins. I know because I've watched 10,000 hours of goblin porn. A lot of people don't even really know how to take care of their pets either. Yeah, that's another reason why I'm not interested in owning a dog at this point, is because I started jogging during the pandemic because the gym was closed. And of course, everybody started owning a dog during the pandemic. So I got to experience firsthand what it means to be a shitty dog owner on the receiving end of all these people who hadn't owned a dog before in their life and didn't know how to control it. And now I'm trying to pass them on the sidewalk and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, he's just playing, as the dog tries to like bite off my testicles. And I was just like, holy shit, I fucking hate these people. This is the equivalent if we allowed gun owners to just be waving their guns around, walking around on the street every single day. Which we kind of do, but it's not even that bad. What do you think of the people who don't clean their dog shit? There's not as many of those as people who don't have control over their dogs, at least in my area. Although I'm sure there are areas where they don't clean the dog shit. But there's plenty of people who just don't have control over their dog's behavior. So in Japan, I know I always end up going to Japan, but if you're running around in Japan, if you're a jogger in Japan, like all the dogs are perfectly well behaved. It's bizarre. It's like a completely different species. Not a single one of them would like jump at me. They all just walk by like chill, completely chill. I was just like, what the fuck? And it's because Japan is a law and order society, and everybody who gets a dog, like, they treat it as a serious investment, and they make sure they get the dog trained. It's actually bizarre how different it is, but it's completely different. Does your state allow open carrying? I'm not sure. Ultimately, does it make a difference if you're not going to open carry yourself? I guess maybe I should know whether open carry is allowed or not, so I can identify whether the person is going to commit a mass shooting in my area or not. I think it does allow open carry, but... Now there are Chad coyotes attacking women and children. They need to get stronger so they can fight off the coyotes. Also, I don't live in a western state, so it's not really a big problem for me. Also, I never leave the house, so it's also not a big problem for me. Coyote versus hog gang wars. We need more delicious wild hogs in our area to eat. Join a hunting club. I don't want to go outside. Also, club means I'd have to socialize with other human beings, and that fucking sucks. The number one reason why I won't join any variety of organizations, whether it's hunting clubs or the church or whatever, is because I don't want to be around other people. I tried playing Dungeons and Dragons. It required me to be around these filthy, ugly, neckbeard nerds who kept on spending their time making new characters instead of actually doing anything interesting in the campaigns. Except us. I get to turn off the stream and not talk to you people whenever I want to, which is something I cannot do to other human beings in real life. If I could just be like, oh, goodbye, end stream, and disappear, life would be much easier for me. Imagine if, like, you were with your extended family on Thanksgiving and people started to annoy you and you just press a button and they would all fucking disappear from the dinner table and you could eat the rest of your dinner in peace and just enjoy the silence. That's exactly the kind of superpower I need, is to just eliminate all other human beings from the planet for 95% of my time and then turn them back on when I need their services. That button is called Colt M19 Kekona Clap. It's not that easy, my friend. It's a lot more time consuming than just pressing the 9/11, 1911 button, the trigger button. That button is called going to your room. See, in real life, people get upset if you just go to your room and fuck off. You're supposed to be there for the family gathering. You could also just acquire some cyanide in Minecraft, Twitch, in Minecraft. We're all just talking about Minecraft. I don't think murdering every other person around you is a long-term solution for being alone. I guess it could technically be alone if they put you in solitary confinement when you're in prison, but I'd rather not be in solitary confinement in prison. Can't relate. Most of my family lives so far that we never see each other. No, that's the same for me. But just even like limited contact with other human beings is painful for me, so... My family lives 75 minutes from me. I only see them 6 times a year. I feel like that's more than enough. 6 times a year is a lot. That means you see them every other fucking month. I don't know if I could handle that. You gotta commit a crime in Scandinavian countries, apparently pretty cozy prisons with single rooms. Or I could just move out and live alone. You know, the simple method. It's not that big a deal. My mom is Italian American. 6 times a year isn't enough for her. LOL. I'm so glad I wasn't born to a more touchy-feely culture. Like, you know, Italian, any of the Latin American countries, where they're like, yeah, don't you come and visit me, you don't like me anymore, you know, it's a me, Mario, that's a spicy meatball, that shit. What if backgrounds were all elf boobs, though? Just make the background all elf boobs. Problem solved. Elf boob wallpaper. That's some Geiger shit we're talking about now. I'll take care of your mom and you won't be bothered by your family anymore. I mean, I assume you're paying rent, so no. The whole point is for me to not contribute financially to my own situation at all and leech off my parent, so no. I'm not paying rent. I own the place. What are you, a fucking king or something? What is this shit? I thought we were living in 2025 where no young people are allowed to own a property. I haven't heard Frankenfran mentioned in years. Peak manga though. I don't want some sort of dark backstory, you know, horrifying consequence that teaches you an important lesson about how you shouldn't, I don't know, cut off your arms and replace them with bug arms or something. I just want to come, okay? Frank and Fran failed that. They're always like, oh, you want to ejaculate? Well, too bad. There are horrible consequences for ejaculating, which kind of sucks. Also, I don't like how big the eyeballs are in Frank and Fran. It's creepy for like a non-horror related creepiness, just like the style is a little creepy. Japan has a long series of like monkey paw style storylines. You guys know, let's see if I can draw him. Is it this way or this way? I think it was this way. Yeah, this was like this. Have you guys seen this guy? I don't know if I'm drawing him correctly. I think that's about right. But I was salesman, yes. One of the better Twilight Zone-esque, be careful what you wish for kind of storylines by the author, one of the half of the authors of Doraemon, Fujiko. I can't remember if it was whether Fujiko F Fujio or Fujiko A Fujio, because it's a two-man team and I can never remember which is which. But yeah. See, back in the day, if you wanted something, then usually you were punished for it, like monkey paw style. But now, in the current age, instead of being punished for your desires, they just give your desires to you and they like give you more than you could even want, and there's no drawback to it in the form of isekai. It's like, oh, you like women? Yeah. You can have all the women you want, and they're all gonna love you, and nothing bad will happen. And you won't regret your decisions of wanting superpowers, of being super sexy in the first place. Wish fulfillment is basically out of control in 2025. People have basically decided that life sucks too much, so we just want what we want in fiction. And we're not gonna, you know, pretend that it should be any more complicated than that. And I was okay with that at first, but now it's just resulted in a lot of really brain-dead content. Whole week of highs in the 80s that steadily increases. Hell yeah, good and cool after the heat wave. There's gonna be a heat wave in September, definitely. We have another month and a half of this shit, so at least it's not that bad. It could have been so much worse. I could be in Tokyo or whatever. Tokyo daddy, just fuck me. Fuck my asshole with heat and humidity. Feels so good, baby. Tokyo weather. Every single day in Tokyo weather, it's like 99 degrees or 100 degrees or some shit. And like, even when it's 100 degrees, the humidity is still above like 50% somehow. Just fuck me. Yeah, fuck me good. Yeah, nothing like the coldest point of the day being like 88 degrees with like 80% humidity or some shit. Speaking of brain dead, I should one day finish the sequel to Island of Giant Insects, LOL. Man, I wonder what happens in the Island of Giant Insects sequel. How large will the insects be? I assume you say, speaking of brain dead, because all the girls get their brains sucked out of their ear holes with a straw or something like that, as usually what happens. If there's one thing hentai have taught me, it's that insects exist to suck girls' brains out of their skull and then also implant eggs in them. It's important that they do this to attractive high school age girls instead of ugly men, because nobody wants to see that. If we're gonna be completely realistic, the bugs could just parasitically insert their insect larva into any kind of living organism, and then it could just like eat our flesh as it hatches, and it wouldn't really have to be done to cute girls. But if we're doing it in the hentai genre, it has to be like cute girls, and then you have to put it inside their ovaries or whatever. Because if it's just a manga about humans getting their flesh eaten by fruit maggot flies or whatever, it's not really sexo now, is it? Do you guys watch mango worm videos on YouTube? I wonder if you can still see them. When I was watching them back in the day, are they still up? Yep, here's a good one. Ah, yes, mango worm removal. Best mango worm removal video by Vet Clinic Gambia. It's crazy to think that we're helping these Africans pay for their mango worm removal by people watching this shit. Specifically myself. Damn, that's a good one right there. Not in years. Yeah, no, I'm just checking them out. I usually just watch Blackhead Extraction instead of going full mango worm core. It's pretty intense. Wow, this dog is really full of them. Those give me trypophobia. I also have trypophobia, which is why I must trigger my trypophobia to get the maximum sensory overload and fuck with my brain. I prefer to watch redacted videos. I wonder what... Have you heard about how YouTube is going to start using AI to determine if you're underage or not? I wonder what flags the AI for your age group. I'm sure there's like a lot of online Roblox predators who are going to have to like confirm their ID with YouTube as they try and, you know, watch their favorite Minecraft streamer content so they can relate to the kids they're trying to groom. That shit will go so badly, 1000%. No, you can't say that AI is incapable of recognizing people's ages accurately. No. What could go wrong? Come on, guys. We just had a last stream in which the AI couldn't understand what a sheathed sword was and kept on giving us images of swords where their sword was unsheathed. So surely the AI will be able to recognize arbitrarily if a person is a child or not. How difficult can it be? It's a combination of how old your account is and what kind of content you watch. Do you think the mango worm video will help with my age recognition or make it worse? Roblox will just be 50-year-old dudes after age verification is a requirement for literally everything online. Maybe they'll be happier that way. It'll just be one 50-year-old dude talking to another 50-year-old dude, both pretending to be children. It's like the dead internet theory, except instead of bots talking to other bots, it's old groomers talking to other old groomers. All the platforms are about to lose so much money alienating the users. Yep. This just feels like something that we just went through with the liberal virtue signaling of everything. Like, you know, Concord losing all the money for Sony and shit like that. Like, we like to think that these corporations only care about money, and they do only care about money. It's just that they're so fucking stupid that they don't realize when they're gonna lose money until they actually do lose money, and then they start to... It takes them like 3 years to change their policies. So they start to virtue signal about how, you know, they're trying to protect the children, blah, 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 and that shit. And then everyone's like, nah, fuck this. And then it'll probably take them like a year and a half or 2 years to reverse their policy when they realize that it's bad for making money. In general, I feel like most theories about that we have in 2025 are based too much on the assumption that people are smarter than they actually are. When in fact, in general, the theory should be that people are way more dumb than we're comfortable about thinking about it. And if there's smart people, then they're like always at like the mid-tier of management, and they're like, "Oh, sir, I don't think we should do that, sir. I think that will cause us to lose billions of dollars," and then the corporate will be like, no, it's fine, don't be foolish. And then they're like, "God damn it, Johnson, why didn't you tell us this would happen?" Did no one learn from Tumblr? I'm shocked to learn that Tumblr is still not dead, you know? It still hasn't died off completely. I'm sure it's not making much money. On the other hand, it probably wasn't making much money with, pre-porn anyways, so it's probably not that big a difference. It was sold for like $1 billion. Yeah, well, whoever bought it was fucking retarded. It's worth barely 10 million now. Ugh. It's almost like all the other fucking online platforms that got sold, like, you know, fucking Twitter. How about that? Shit is so stupid. God, can you imagine being one of the Twitter stockholders when Elon fucked up and he said he was gonna buy Twitter for, what was it, 420? I forgot the stupid meme number he posted, and then the judge was like, no, you have to pay that. I don't care if you're memeing. Those people must have, like, literally cummed in their pants when they realized the payout they were getting. Just because Elon is a fucking retard. $420 million. So Elon was like, haha, let me say the funny weed number. Haha, I was just joking. And then the judge was like, we don't care if you're joking. That's not how business works. You actually have to pay it. It wasn't 420 million. It was, what was it like? It was 42 billion, wasn't it? I can't remember the specifics of it. Elon buying Twitter for 42 billion meme number. Will this show up? It was a 44 billion purchase price. Elon already made flamethrowers. He should make portable rail cannons next. Those will sell like hotcakes. Why are we pretending like he invented the concept of a flamethrower when it's a weapon that has existed since World War II? Elon hasn't invented anything, guys. He's just behaving very stupid. You want to see, it's not like he gave us this stuff. He just gave us a little tiny toy flamethrower instead of this shit. I just want liquid napalm. I thought this was a free country. You just have to make it yourself, bro. Easy. Not pretending he invented them, just saying he sold portable flamethrower things. Yeah, but we don't have military-ready portable rail guns available yet, so I'm pretty sure Elon would have to invent one if he wanted to sell them as his little toys. Which he is not capable of doing. Just make your own orange juice plus bleach or something like that. I mean, you can make your own poison gas in your backyard. You just need to mix the two detergents or whatever that they tell you under no circumstance should you mix it. You can be your own Nazi gas chamber, except in this case the Nazi gas chamber is your own apartment. It's orange juice plus gasoline to make napalm. Ammonium plus bleach is mustard gas. Good thing that we have that type of knowledge at the top of our head, because if we ever get hit by a truck and get isekai'd, it's exactly the type of shit that we have to remind ourselves of. Gotta invent gunpowder, gotta invent napalm. Let's be honest, if any of us actually got isekai'd, we wouldn't be able to do shit. I can't remember a single fucking chemical setup. I would not be able to invent gunpowder. The only way in which I would be successful in isekai world is if whatever goddess reincarnated me also got, you know, forced to physically guide me around the world and give me just straight up hand-holding blowjobs every single day. That's the only way I'd ever get anything accomplished. What about learning spells? Yes, I will be isekai'd, and then I will be given like a special cheat ability, and then they're like, my parents will be like, what? He was born with gravity magic? And space and time magic? Oh, what a fucking loser. Gravity and space and time magic is the weakest of all magic types. Nobody knows how to use that type of magic. He is worthless. We must banish him from our house. And I'll be like, oh man, my parents are so stupid. They don't realize that this extremely overpowered magic is actually the most powerful of all magics. But I know better, because this world is based off of that MMORPG, vaguely defined MMORPG that is written about by someone who has clearly never played an MMORPG in their life. And I know exactly how to use this special kind of magic. And then the author uses up all the plot that they had thought of in the first 5 chapters of the fucking story, and after that there's no point in reading it. In the first 5 chapters, he goes, the entire character arc is played out, in which the rest of society is too fucking stupid to realize how smart the main character is, and then the main character forces them to regret it. This plays out over like 10 minutes, and then you don't have to read the rest of the story. There's nothing else to be read. He named it NA in honor of the saltiest region on Earth, North America, and chloride. I actually don't know what NA is. It's like, it's natrium natoriumu in Japanese. I'm guessing that the saltiest area of the Earth is a joke that we use when we're talking about the American FGC community or something like that. Land of the Free. Oh, that's right, Evo is coming up. It's great. We're gonna get another reminder of why America is the land of the free. Evo is happening right now. Is it? Is today Evo day 1? I thought it was the next week. Shit, I'm glad you guys reminded me of it, or I would have missed it. Because they let Koreans and Japanese win in fighting games. They don't let anybody win. They win because Americans fucking suck at all fighting games except for Mortal Kombat, which is barely a fighting game and nobody plays anymore. I think I'll watch Mortal Kombat 1 Evo just to see how unpopular it is and see the total lack of hype where nobody cheers when anything happens. I think it'll be hilarious. Probably is next week. Evo 2025. No, it is this week. August 1st. Think what would have happened to Evo if Queen Pokey didn't step in? You should lick her feet in thanks. To thank her for her service to the community. Also, Sony was buying it anyway, so it makes no fucking difference, but whatever. Aren't South Americans good at fighting games? That still counts. South Americans are only good at King of Fighters. Specifically, the Mexicans are good at King of Fighters, and even they lose to the Chinese, so... South Americans are only good at King of Fighters, and the Peruvians are good at Dota, and that's it. Everything else they're shit at. Brazilians are good at Counter-Strike. That is not a fighting game. Counter-Strike is silly and you should feel bad for liking it. Or liking Brazilians, or anything they do. We must remember that Brazilians love soccer, and then they lost to Germany 7-2. And we must mock them for that. Forever. Hey, what's up? How's backgrounds? I'm trying. We have to show the Here we go, the crying people. Every once in a while, I rewatch this just so I can watch the depths of human misery. Yes, cry. Cry, little child. This is how you know that I'm, if I had to choose between being a sadist or a masochist, I think we know which side I am on when I'm rewatching Germany losing 0-5. Children crying is the best part. Your tears on my candy. Also, I like the German player or the Brazilian player's reaction, where they just sort of seem to be having in a state of confusion. Meanwhile, America will never lose at sports, at any sport, because we only play weird, dumb fuck sports that only America cares about. I remember reading comments of the one comic artist who spent entire life on just one comic, talking about how his biggest regret was hand-drawing backgrounds every time instead of reusing assets. I mean, even if you're drawing your backgrounds every single time, you can still do that quickly if you know how to do it quickly. Anyways, I want an assistant to draw them for me. America doesn't have enough fit people to have more sports teams than football and basketball. Remember that you don't have to be fit to play football because half of the offensive line is morbidly obese. Also, America has a shit ton of fit sports players. We just have, like, a bunch of fat people as well. In fact, I'd like to point out that as someone who is on the skinny side, the people who are capable of getting super fat, giga fat, morbidly obese are also the same types of people that are capable of getting super jacked and muscular. The genes that allow you to build a shit ton of muscle are also the same genes that allow you to get super fat. And then skinny people, like, they just sort of stay the same, you know? They can't really build muscle or fat. They can still get the diabetes, but they can't really put on extra weight very easily. The bloat maxer is the most powerful of all maxers. You sticks will never be able to understand. American chess team being full of Chinese. Maybe the Chinese would want to play on the Chinese team if they didn't have a government that would imprison them for wearing a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt. How about that? You know, China could also have the thing that America has, which is lots of immigrants. If they just weren't a shit country, they could try not being a shit country for 5 seconds. America also a pretty shitty country, by the way, but Not as shitty as China. Anybody who's like, God, my country sucks, I wish I could be in China. No, that's the country that really gets it. It's like, I don't think you know how bad China is, bro. Nikocado Avocado could have been built like Arnold. Well, we don't know how much time it took him to put on that bloat maxing. The real bloat maxers can just like get super built very quickly. China has industrialized tyranny to the max. The only ones who are more efficient are the North Koreans. We don't know how efficient North Korea is because we don't get to actually see it in action. But China has an economical powerhouse, superpower status, some tanky online cope. Also, we don't actually know how good the Chinese economy or military is as well. They definitely want us to think that they're the military economic superpower of the planet. To which I say, hurry up and invade Taiwan and try fucking around so we can find out. Go ahead, China. Fuck around and find out. Let's see. Let us see how powerful you actually are. Remember that China has literally not invaded successfully a foreign country ever in their entire history of the world. In 5,000 years, the only thing that has happened is they fought internal wars and then lost to foreign invaders. That's it. They got blown the fuck out by Japan in their last real war. We're also forgetting Vietnam. Everybody keeps on forgetting Vietnam because it's always like memorandalized. I don't know the right term in this case. About America losing. And they're like, oh my god, America lost to Vietnam. We are also forgetting that China also lost to Vietnam and France also lost to Vietnam as well. They were in the fucking trees, man. See, now that Vietnam has been mentioned. What you're saying is Vietnam is OP? It is. The jungle is real. I mean, this isn't the first time China has tried to invade Vietnam either. The Mongols tried to invade Vietnam when they were like when they owned China, and they failed then as well, so. It's been a while since America killed a shit ton of their people in the middle of nowhere. I mean, not that many American soldiers really died in Vietnam, actually. We just sort of have inflated the presence of Vietnam like everything else that happened during the boomers' lifetime. U.S. Vietnam War death toll is 58,000 U.S. service members died. So about the number of children in Gaza dying right now, basically. Now we're killing people domestically. I mean, the U.S. war with the highest death count was the Civil War, of course. If only those kids had guns to defend themselves, K-Kona. Some of them do. Which is why there's, like, lawless gangs patrolling the area and stuff. How often do U.S. citizens die from gun-adjacent mishaps to compare with Nam? Often enough that if you watch the local news in any major American TV market, literally every single night there'll be like a 5-year-old successfully found his father's gun and shot himself and his sister. That like happens literally every single day. It's like somehow like a 1-year-old figure out how to unlock their father's gun safe or something, and they always get themselves shot. It's unclear how they do it, but those rascally little kids. I don't know. I've only shot a gun like once or twice, but I remember being super surprised at how heavy the trigger was. Like, you really have to squeeze that shit hard. So, I think it's pretty shocking how successful babies are at somehow getting themselves shot when they find their parents' guns, but they do seem to do it consistently. That is some good dwarf art. I still believe he needs the tower hat. The dwarf needs to show his fabulous bald head. We don't have enough baldness in this manga. During the pandemic was the first weekend in decades that no one was shot or stabbed to death in Chicago. Chicago just built different. The CIA's most successful apartheid black person death trap of all time.
That's good. I'll come all over
What is the U.S. murder capital right now? U.S. murder capital. St. Louis, Missouri is what AI is telling us. Oh, no, it says Memphis for 2025.
Well, what I'm trying to say is,
Me. I want to talk to you about me, bro. Well, another time.
Go Memphis, St. Louis, Baltimore. Baltimore, underrated murder capital. I don't think Baltimore has ever been out of like the top 3 murder locations in the United States my entire lifetime. I feel like it's always right there. Extremely capable when it comes to... And then number 5 is Birmingham, so it's mostly the South. And number 4 is DC. The South and then the DC area. Red states have the most gun crime and murder stats. Of course, there's only like 20,000 murders in America per year, so it's really not that big a deal if you think about it. Considering the true American murder stat is U.S. obesity-based heart failure. Let's just look at heart failure deaths. U.S. has 695,000 deaths per year. Oh, no. Centers of Disease Control is saying 919,000 people died from cardiovascular disease in 2023. 1 in every 3 deaths. Heart disease, number 1 by far. Hold on. Let me ask AI to generate. Typical American man. Let's see how overweight he will be. I'm pretty sure he will not be overweight at all if I ask AI to generate a typical American man, because most of the images are just from like free image generator. So you get like a standard white guy. Problem with homicide rates is that it's relying on what's actually reported. There's an unknown amount of missing people who are likely are dead. Yeah, but just because they're dead doesn't mean they were homicided. A good percentage of those missing people are dead because they off themselves through using too much fentanyl, so... Some percentage of those people were murdered by the local, you know, serial killer trucker picking them up on the highway or some shit like that, but... Most of them probably just, you know, died from drug use or some shit like that, so... You underestimate how much murder isn't caught? I think there's a lot of murders that are still categorized as murders where they don't necessarily catch the murderer. I think it can still be counted as a murder and be, like, booked as a homicide, and they don't necessarily have to actually catch the perpetrator. I don't think murder is as high as people are giving credit for, at least compared to the other ways in which we can die. So if I asked AI to generate a typical American man, this is what they gave me. Giga Chad graying guy in a business suit, Giga Chad, Salt of the Earth, intense skinny guy. This guy looks like a meth head, so they all seem to be like pretty high on meth, so I think that's pretty accurate. The Frank Miller special. Alright, we can ask for American man, morbidly obese, wearing a Ford. No, we'll give him a wearing a Harley Davidson t-shirt, holding a giant bottle of Coke, standing in front of a Ford 150, wearing a Bass Pro Shop baseball cap. Bald eagle flying in background. Damn, that was fast. Holy shit. You can tell how much reference images the AI has by how quickly it can generate images. If it has fewer reference images, it takes way more time as it tries to figure shit out. This was almost immediate. It immediately gave us 3 images. Now this is the K-Kona clap content that we're all waiting for. I guess there's no more job required for me. The AI can do my job for me. I like this one the best, right here. He seems at ease with himself. Although none of them, only one had the full Bass Pro Shops fish, clearly obvious. It's also interesting how there's like different years of the Ford F-150 they're choosing from. I like the size of the Coca-Cola bottle here. That seems accurate. But I like this one the best because his posture sort of suggests that he's at ease, as if standing up to listen to the national anthem or something. Mint School. Now we should do American Woman. Blonde. Hourglass figure.
Full master.
Double D cup boobs. Wearing American flag bikini and jean mini shorts. Holding a giant bottle of natural light beer. Man who looked like that called people like Sydney Sweeney fat. I don't even know who Sydney Sweeney is.
Full master.
I'm seeing a woman wearing a lot of jeans right now. Meanwhile, this is a accurate representation of the average American woman here. As an American, I can say for sure that this is definitely what women look like in America. Hashtag Kekona clap. What the fuck is going on with this eagle right here? This is like an eagle the size of like a bug. Also, they don't know what Natural Light logo looks like. Oh, maybe this is the old Natural Light logo. I will say that as someone who goes to Planet Fitness, there's way more overweight women than there are overweight men. At least when we're talking about young people. There's a bunch of like 50-year-old overweight guys who I assume used to like play sports and stuff, and now they've gained a bunch of weight. But if we're talking about like teenagers and stuff, there's just a shit ton of young women who are overweight. They probably were never prepared to like develop any kind of like athletic routine, so it's super easy for them to get fat. The truth is, if you're living in America and just like living in American society normally, you're going to be at a calorie surplus no matter what you do, so eventually you're going to get fat. You basically have to detach yourself from what is considered to be like a typical behavior in American society to not get fat, which is of course very difficult if you're living in society. What is up with AI fucking up light direction? I mean, if it's only the light direction that's fucked up, you're probably being pretty successful. Instead of getting like 12 fingers. Aren't you celibate due to the lack of beauty of ladies around you? Kind of, I guess. The last time I saw an attractive woman in my area, she was a Mexican working at the local taqueria, so I think that says a lot. And by attractive, I mean not grossly overweight. The deal with your Americans is that your food is too fatty. It's not entirely the people's fault. The American diet is built around eating too much calories because the American diet is built around corporations trying to get you to eat more so you buy more product. It's kind of like automatic that you'll get fat eventually, even if you're working out, and most Americans don't want to work out as well, so... Spanking. And then the packaged foods are engineered to make you want to eat more of them, so... I want to make this a little bit thicker, but not too much thicker. Is overweight just a deal breaker for you? Haha, funny as fuck. No, overweight is like step one. If my penis doesn't get hard looking at the woman, and it will not get hard if she is 40 pounds overweight, then, you know, that's the beginning. That's step one. There's 30 other deal breakers for me, which is why I have never had a girlfriend, because I would just rather be alone. "40 pounds overweight is close to the start of obesity, I think." There's a lot of people at the Planet Fitness, men and women, who are 40 pounds overweight. And I am not interested in being in a relationship with them, so... Honestly, even if a perfect 10 out of 10 model level girl showed up and would be like, "I love you so much, I'll do everything for you, I'll cook and clean and suck your dick," I'd probably still be like, "Nah, I'd rather be alone." That's just like my mental state, and I can't really escape it. Like, when I remember stuff in my life, like all the precious memories I have of what I did and shit like that, it's always stuff that when I was doing when I was alone. Like, I think I've said this before, but I think a lot of people, when they see, like, a beautiful sunset, they're like, oh, I wish there was somebody I could share this experience with. But I'm like the opposite. I'm like, oh, this is so cool that I get to see this beautiful thing and there's nobody else to, you know, detract from my enjoyment of it. It's just me. So if that's my mentality, I don't think I can, you know, be in a relationship with anybody.
I want to tell my fans to live their life without
It takes one.
be adventurous. When opportunity
Okay, sure, whatever. I mean, that's one way of looking at it.
don't be afraid to go out and look.
I'm not saying I'm against... I'm not, like, trying to uphold my vows or anything. I just prefer being alone.
And live the life of you got me there.
I prefer the fat people at my gym over my nemesis, the Russian hookers who keep monopolizing the stair stepper. Stair stepper is the most efficient way to lose calories or burn calories at the gym, usually. If you look at the calorie burn rate per minute, the stair machine is usually the hardest, unless you're like really turning up the running speed on the treadmill or something. Stair stepper is harsh on the knees. I don't know. It's not like you smash your knees into the stairs. It's more of like a pushing motion. I don't think it's that bad. I am not walking up and down the stairs. The Russian hookers can do it together before their OnlyFans sessions. Look, being a Russian hooker OnlyFan is a hard job, guys. There's a lot of competition that they have to beat out. It's a cutthroat environment you wouldn't understand. There's only so much goon money to be had out there. Free movement or harsh incline treadmill let me go for way longer. I'm on at fucking Planet Fitness, so they don't have any fancy shit like that. It's just treadmill, elliptical machine, a few bikes.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the United
OnlyFans blowing up during COVID really made people rich as fuck? Maybe. Or they might have blown all their stuff on, like, weed at this point. Who knows? The smart ones will have kept onto their money, and the not smart ones will have wasted it at this point. Also, it made a lot of people poor, like all the guys who were paying the OnlyFans women. Just ride a regular bike, haha. Oh wait, you live in the US? If you ride a regular bike, that means you have to go somewhere, which means you have to be on the street, which means you'll get run over by that guy in the Ford F-150. The majority of OnlyFans models make less than $100. It's only the elite top 5% that we hear about. Yeah, every once in a while I'll go to like a Twitter OnlyFans models page and see if she's popular, and she usually isn't. Wow, there's a whole gachi metal and rock playlist here. Lots of Megadeth.
Long latex glove.
Of course it's the Russians making it.
Fucking coming. Ass.
God, Billy looks so powerful here.
Fisting. My dick. Do anal. Coming. We must stick finger.
You listen to this sort of gachi compilations and you're reminded of the fact that a good percentage of the people who made these gachi Russian compilations are probably dead by now. They've already died in the front lines, if you think about it. You're listening to this person's life work and they're gone. I wonder how many gachi artists were lost to this 3-day special military operation. Oh, I hadn't seen your comment. I was thinking about the same thing.
Man, fucking coming. Do anal. Coming. We must stick finger. Suck some dick. Boy. It's all on bondage. Gay website.
Oh. I believe the Middle Easterners can get off over ankles. When it was the only thing they could find. Ooh, here's Starman right version.
Fisting ass.
Those people also get off the sheep like the Welsh. Sheep are sexy. It's not that strange.
Come, anal. Ass. Master. Suck. Master.
Oh.
Psycho Doga.
Look out your door.
Spanking.
Come.
Oh, fucking backgrounds.
Beauty.
Come, anal. Ass. Master. Suck. Master.
Believe.
Come, anal. Ass. Master. Suck. Master.
We try using watercolor or something. The cool thing about working digitally is you don't have to use the hard black and white tools that you have to use when you're printing normally, because it's just going to be converted to dots anyways. Which is really, you can do a lot of cool things like using watercolor brushes and shit. I don't really like this though. This might be a little too weird. I like how all these Gotchi remixes use the same 40 or so samples. That's just how it is. It's like you go to the church to pray. You don't go, you use the same, it's like, it wasn't like they didn't have other gay porn back in the day either. If they just decided this is what we're going to be using. Because it's internet memery. What's important is that everybody knows the individual samples, not that you're using the best gay porn voice acting that you can find. You say you can't draw backgrounds, but I like your Dark Elf City. We're trying, guys. Whether it's good or not is another question. This is a certified dungeon classic. It has 1.8 million views from 9 years ago. That's some powerful energy right there. It is kind of depressing to think that the best days of the internet are already behind us. I don't know if the best days of my life are behind me, but I feel pretty confident in saying that the internet isn't going to get any better from here. So the whole old force and feels strongman meme is actually way more accurate than we'd like to admit. And it's not even like the dead internet theory. I mean, we just straight up have all these governments banning access right now, for one thing. Apparently 50% of current internet flow originates from bots. Yeah, probably.
Oh, hi. My car broke down a few miles down the road.
Nearest town's about an hour north from here. My uncle can give you a ride.
Oh, great. Is your uncle here?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Far cry from creativity we once had.
It gets bigger when I pull it. Sometimes pulling so hard, I rip the skin. I rip the skin. Our dad had taught us not to be ashamed. Sometimes pulling so hard, I rip
There was always like somebody trying to do something on the internet in the early stage of the internet. Like everybody felt like it was a tool that had unlimited amount of possibility and everyone was like trying to push the boundaries. And now it's all like a lot of people who want to become professionals in one way or the other, you know? It's a weird way to think about it that way, but everybody wants to make a buck, so they don't want to get on the wrong side of YouTube censorship or whatever. Even if government kills the internet, I'll get my manga and hentai torrents from somewhere. We'll just have to buy the paper books, old school style. That's how we'll just have to do it going forward. Japan is right. Never give up your cash. Never stop printing shit. Never give up on analog. You need a permanent record from stuff, and you can't trust it to be in the cloud. YouTubers once were glad to make a humble living working 22 hours a day, then it became its standard that's the only way to become a millionaire. Yeah. And everybody's just trying to become a millionaire instead of produce, you know, content that they actually care about. They're trying to fight the algorithm. Overly edited videos. Everybody has the same fucking thumbnail. Porn via fax sounds like hell. You'll just have to imagine the woman in your mind. Just like standard celebrities, YouTubers and streamers are just getting caught doing awful shit left and right. I mean, what's the point of having money if you're not going to use the money to do awful shit? That was always the plan from the beginning. That was always the goal. The point of having money since primordial times, money and power only exists so you can do horrible shit to other people and then get away with it. That's what it means to have power. Like, what's the point of having power and money and stuff like that if you're not going to use it to please yourself? That's why people go through all this work to get that shit in the first place. If I ever have a lot of money, I will use it to make a month-long eating trip across Japan. You'll probably lose 30 pounds in the process if you ever do that. Eating healthy Japanese food. Even if you're eating tonkatsu every day. Lose 30 pounds is wild. Well, it depends how fat you are, I guess. If you're a normal weight, you won't lose 30 pounds. But it is pretty common for people who are fat to go to Japan and are just like, I'm gonna eat Japanese diet food. And by Japanese diet food, they mean that means like they eat fried pork cutlet every day, but then they still end up losing weight because Japanese portions are just that much smaller than, you know, American portions. America is a country where if you eat normally living in American society, just that alone will cause you to gain weight over time. Whereas Japan is, if you eat normally living in Japanese society, just that alone will probably get you to lose weight. You sort of have to go out of your way to eat stuff that's bad for you in Japan if you want to actually gain weight. American portions are way too big. There's Japanese portions that are also way too big. You just have to find them. I ate everything in Japan, including kushiyaki, and had to try to keep weight on. Kushiyaki is tiny, though. They're tiny little pieces. Think about it. They're just like these little pieces of food stuck on a stick. So of course you're gonna lose weight. And you pay like 200 yen for that thing. All of your calories is coming from the beer. Here's a proper Japanese food challenge. Just eat your giant fucking piece of meat. So there's all these Japanese restaurant places that they have like these food challenge menus and stuff like that. So if you are actually like a professional Japanese eater, there's plenty of places where you can eat this. This is 4,300 yen for this. I think that's for one of these things. Why Japan just put lots of text over everything? I don't know. It's a TV style that they developed. Would eat. This is making me want to eat some beef right now. Michelle Obama is like, please Americans, don't eat as much meat. And when you do eat meat, please make sure that the piece of meat is no larger than the size of your fist or something. And I'd be like, nah. He finishes this shit, by the way. This is like 6 kilos, 5 kilos of meat.
Deep, dark fantasies. Just move it up.
4,300 yen is about 30 bucks. You'd pay like $100 for this in America. Yeah, I think that's just like one of the pieces is 4,300 yen, but this is different from the challenge menu he's probably eating. But anyway, shit is super cheap in Japan. I don't want to spend over 1,000 yen on a meal. Holy fucking cheap skate right there. 1,000 yen is like 7 bucks, dude, right now. Looks like 10 kilos at least. It's probably not 10 kilos because he's right next to the camera is closer to the meat. That's not even the more craziest shit in his videos. Like this thing.
Swallow my cum. You know I don't do anal. Do you like what you see?
This thing looks like literally just like they murdered a cow and put it right there.
That turns me on. Don't stop. Don't touch me there.
The piece of meat is literally larger than his body. It is Monster Hunter right here, honestly. This is the Monster Hunter worldview. What kind of a piece of meat is this? Like, what part of the cow is it? I've never seen a singular piece of meat this size ever. Like, I didn't even know you could cut off this this size of meat, like an actual single piece of meat. Did he actually finish this or not? He only has 30 minutes left when you have this down to this, so I'm assuming he doesn't. Yen is really low right now. It's been low for a while. Oh shit, he does finish it. What a fucking champ. This guy isn't even the strongest eater in Japan. Alright, back to actually working on the goddamn background. Fuck, this takes forever. Because I'm pausing every 5 seconds. Honestly, I'm not that big a fan of steak. I feel like for what you pay for steak, there are more efficient ways to eat meat. Like, it's good, but I can get similar satisfaction from eating, you know, cheaper objects. I'm more impressed that he didn't stain his suit. That's what dry cleaning is for. I'm sure he stained it to some degree. For how rarely you're supposed to eat red meat, having nice preparation like a steak is great. I don't care, I will eat red meat. I don't care if I'm not supposed to eat it and it's gonna give me colon cancer. I've given up enough. I don't need to give up my red meat, at least. I assume that the anti-cancer drugs will be good enough by the time I get cancer that I shouldn't worry about not eating red meat. I prefer pulled jackfruit over pulled pork because of how greasy it tends to be. Pulled pork is greasy as fuck. It's also pretty expensive in this area because you'd have to go to like the barbecue place to get it.
It isn't every day the new director wants to be, but yesterday the already huge pool of talent exists at Peak.com. A little bit bigger as new director Dan Darkman joined the team.
Apparently there used to be a shit ton of jackfruit just growing around America back in the day. But it's not as good as the other types of fruit, so people have stopped eating it. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Pretty closely related to durian. Gillette. How is Dr. Disrespect doing right now?
Stick your finger in my ass. That turns me on.
I thought that people were supposed to drop him because he had his number 5 scandal again. search. Dr. Disrespect. He has 4.4 million subscribers. He's live right now. His videos all have about 100,000 views. There's 11,000 people watching him right now on YouTube. So whoever was like, he's over, the man is canceled. I don't think it's working. That's sad. I mean, you're saying he's probably still trying to fuck kids. Kids are probably the one who's watching him, right? The teenagers that he is trying to have sex with are also the people that are like, I love Dr. Disrespect, he's my favorite streamer. Trump's America, get fucked libtard, K-Kona. It's pretty ironic because the people who support Trump are also the people who are like, we have to protect the children by releasing the Epstein files and banning pornography. Aggravates me how tech illiterate some parents are that they don't even know that their kids are going on their iPad babysitter. Also, they probably don't care, right? I mean, I don't think they actually care. Bro, the average American parent probably can't even be bothered to feed their child anything more than like dinosaur-shaped chicken McNuggets, so I'm pretty sure they're not gonna give a single fuck about keeping track of their child to make sure that they're not going on to the wrong websites and stuff. Can't believe more people have turned on him for trying to scrub his name from the list, LMAO. You mean compared to when he got accused by like 30 women of raping them or something? That part? I don't know, man. Conspiracy theorists are... They're a selective bunch on the type of information they pretend they decide to consume or not consume. It's very strange. Yes, BB, because your mother could stop you from gooning. She tried her hardest. I was just more dedicated and more powerful than her. She definitely installed various porn block softwares on my computer. And I would have to use her computer to goon. If the kids nowadays had to do 1/8 of the amount of effort I had to put in to get my porn in 1999... they would probably just go no-fap because it would be too much work for them because they're a bunch of coddled little shits who all have their own phones and get unlimited gigs of porn streamed directly into their fucking brain every day. Back in my day, man, if we wanted to read the latest issue of Bondage Fairies, we had to go and get on your parents' fucking computer while they were out shopping or something. Make sure you deleted the history afterward. Make sure that you were constantly checking the driveway to see if they were getting back and get ready to get off the fucking computer as soon as they were coming back, just in case you mistimed your goon session. You had to fucking plug in the goddamn dial-up. It took you 40 seconds to load a single fucking image. Surely young boys won't use innocent sportswear magazines for evil deeds in the absence of porn. There was a specific image in, I don't know which store it was. I think it was like a Sears catalog or something of a woman in a one-piece silver swimsuit, which I jacked off to like 30 times because it just like, it hit the penis in just the right spot. I definitely developed something for one-piece bathing suits after being on the swim team for too long. What the fuck? The emergency vehicle going right outside our house. I'm not even on a major street. That's so weird. Just imagine if the screen froze on the porn and wouldn't turn off. You just pull out the plug, my friend. Hide to print pin-ups and then hide that shit. Yeah, I would use the attached printer and literally print out like entire doujins on just standard printer paper and then taking them up to my room so I could jack off later. You would also find mildly sexy shonen comics and use those for masturbation. It wasn't like right now where there is unlimited amounts of porn of every single type. You can have specifically curated porn using AI right for your fetish. Is Xana taller than Aubrey? Xana is about the same height as Will. She's only slightly shorter than Will. Aubrey is about the height of Will's shoulder. So if they're both standing upright, she can sort of nestle her head on her man's shoulder. Ideal female height, I don't know. Xana is the model type, so she's like 6 feet tall. Surely kids will now be protected from porn on the web when you can ask AI to print it directly. I mean, they're probably not protected from porn on the web in like any context. I'm sure there's a million websites that you can still look at that are like in a different domain that aren't covered by whatever UK blocking shit is set in place or whatever. I mean, there's unlimited amount of porn everywhere on every part of the web. Like, there's no way if kids actually are looking for porn or at least just some kind of masturbation material won't be able to find it immediately. It's the most naive shit out there. I do not know how to use the curve tool, god damn it. What? Okay, there we go. What the fuck is happening? Jesus Christ.
Spanking.
Would you rather have pneumatic cock or cybernetic balls? I played the Cyberpunk episode in which the guy's cybercock was manufacturing, so I'm not feeling particularly interested in, you know, getting a cybercock. I don't think I would trust a dystopian corporation with any kind of cybernetics in my body, honestly. It's kind of crazy if you think about how the cyberpunk concept is that, like, corporations rule everything, there's monopoly over everything, which will of course make everything shittier, and then people are like, you know what is a good idea? I'm gonna put all this, like, enhancement material in my body because I trust this fucking corporation not to fuck me over. It's like, why would anyone do that? People wouldn't put that shit in their body even if it was cool. In fact, the whole concept of being like, yes, everyone's just gonna go full cyber mode and go cyber psycho is kind of stupid if you think about it.
Must pull up our pants, dust ourselves off, but also endured the lash of the spanking time and time again. And so, to all the people who are watching this video, from the grandest cities to the small villages, know that Fortune is a friend of every man who seeks a future.
I guess people use addictive substances like drinking and shit like that, which has non-immediate detrimental side effects that people know for sure will happen, but people ignore them. So I guess that's not that weird. But there has just been a historically bad track record for these corporations that require you to put something on your body or in your body, even if it's cool technology like VR headsets and shit like that, or glasses. Like they're trying to sell that Facebook Oculus glasses or some shit, so you can have AI plugged into your eyeballs all day long. I mean, that's some pretty fucking stupid shit, but I don't think it's selling very well. Is this a not safe for work manga? No, it is not. I can't be the only one that saw the Neuralink as an attempt to create mind slaves, right? I think a lot of people thought that, but I think it's just like these techno bros think every concept they saw in a cyberpunk dystopian future is just like they think it's awesome and they think they'll be able to make it. And they don't understand that it was supposed to be like a dystopia, not a utopia. Like, I think most of these tech bros are genuinely genuinely so divorced from reality that they convince themselves into thinking that the Cybertruck is awesome and shit like that. So, again, we shouldn't underestimate the potential for human stupidity. Did you hear that situation in which there was one tech bro guy who was found dead, drowning in his sensory deprivation tank or whatever? I thought that was the most, like, tech bro way to die. It's like, yeah, I need to deprive my body of sensations by floating in this liquid. Surely my rebreather system, whatever, will not malfunction in any situation, right? Oh no. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream here. See you around. I will keep on grinding, doing my best. Ah, it's so hard. So difficult, so complicated. See you around. Good night, guys.